Today, we're going to jump into one developer's journey as they build their very first private cloud on AWS. It's a really cool look at how a project that sounds super complex can actually be an exciting and, way more importantly, an achievable learning adventure. So, let's get into it. So, let me ask you this. What if you could build your own private, secure corner of the internet? A space where you control the walls, you control the gates, you call all the shots. Well, that's not some far-off idea. That is exactly what a virtual private cloud is all about. And here it is, the hero of the hour, the Amazon VPC. To put it simply, it's your very own private, fenced-off area in the massive AWS cloud. It gives you all the privacy and security you need for your data. But, and this is the crucial part, it doesn't leave you stranded on a digital island. You can still connect out to the rest of the internet whenever you need to. Okay, so right about now, you're probably thinking, this sounds like a massive project, something that's got to take weeks to get right. But get this, the developer whose project we're following did the entire thing from scratch to a working private cloud in just 2 to 3 hours. Yeah, this is way more accessible than you might think. So let's get into the build. First things first, you have to actually create the VPC. Think of this as step one, buying your own plot of digital land and putting up the main walls around it. To make this a little less abstract, the author gives us a fantastic analogy. Just think of a VPC as a giant folder. See, without one, your cloud resources, your servers, your databases, they're kind of just scattered all over the place, out in public. The VPC is the container that lets you pull everything inside, keeping it all organized, private, and tidy. And the actual process? It's pretty straightforward. You just head over to the VPC console, click Create, and then you do this one crucial thing. You define what's called a CIDR block. Now, that sounds technical, but all you're really doing is drawing the property lines for your land. You're giving AWS a range of private IP addresses and basically saying, hey, everything inside these lines, that's mine. It ensures your private space doesn't overlap with anyone else's. Okay, so our walls are up. We have a private space. But a big empty plot of land isn't all that useful by itself, right? The very next thing you've got to do is start organizing the space inside those walls. And this right here is a brilliant way to picture it. The author says subnets are like neighborhoods inside the city that is the VPC. I mean, that analogy is perfect, isn't it? It just clicks. You're not just building one giant empty room, you're actually zoning your city for different purposes. And that is the key to good organization and security. Now, just like in a real city, not all neighborhoods are the same. You've got public ones and you've got private ones. The difference is simple, but it is absolutely critical for security. Public subnets are for the stuff that needs to face the outside world, like a web server, because they're connected to an internet gateway. Private subnets, that's your backend. That's for your databases, the stuff that should be completely shielded from anybody on the internet. So we've built our city, we've designed our public and private neighborhoods, but we have a major problem. Right now, our city is completely isolated. There are no roads leading in or out. That means even our public-facing websites can't talk to the outside world. So how do we fix that? The answer is the Internet Gateway. The name really says it all. This component is basically the main gate for your entire VPC city. It's what allows traffic to flow between your private little world and the public internet. So why is this one little component so important? Well, without it, your VPC is an island, a fortress with no doors. Your applications can't download updates, they can't connect to other services online, and no one from the outside can access the websites you want to host. It would be a totally internal, isolated system. We've now covered all the core components of our private cloud city. That's the what. Now let's look at a really fascinating part of this journey, the how. The author actually tried out 2 very different ways of putting all of this together. So the 2 tools were the AWS console, the graphical website where you point and click, and the AWS command line interface, or CLI. The author notes that the console felt more intuitive at first, which makes perfect sense when you're just starting out. But their big takeaway is what's really important here. They realize the sheer power of the command line. Learning the CLI is an investment, for sure. It's the gateway to automation, to scaling things up, to doing what the pros do. And this quote just kind of sums up the whole experience, doesn't it? It wasn't just some dry technical task, it was actually enjoyable. The whole process sparked a curiosity to get better, to master a new tool. And that is what turns a simple project into a real learning experience. It's not just about finishing the steps, it's about discovering what you want to learn next.
So let's bring it all home. We've been on a pretty quick but complete journey here, seeing how a private cloud goes from just an idea to a real thing. Let's just do a quick recap of the 3 fundamental building blocks that we put together.
It really all boils down to these 3 things, and our simple analogies make them super easy to remember. We built the VPC, those are the outer walls. We organized the space inside with subnets, those are the neighborhoods. And we connected it all to the world with an internet gateway, that's the main gate. Walls, neighborhoods, and a gate. That's it. That's your private cloud. And that brings us to the final thought. We've seen how someone, in just a couple of hours, went from an idea to a fully functional, secure space in the cloud. So the question is no longer about how you build it. The question is now for you. Once you've built the space, what are you going to create inside?